Hey guys, we're all platforms. We play things and then talk about them. With me are Christian, Andy, M, Heather, and Sachin.
You don't pronounce that anymore. With Sachin.
Right.
What an asshole.
Sachin, introduce yourself then.
Okay. Hey guys, my name is Sachin, and I game on Xbox 360 and PC. My favourite games are The Binding of Isaac and Red Dead Redemption.
Cool. My name's Heather. I'm more of a retro gamer. So I've got my Nintendo 64 and my SNES going on, but I've also got a Steam account. Who doesn't these days? I guess my favourite games have to be Donkey Kong Country, as in the first two, and we'll throw in a bit of Left 4 Dead 2.
I'm Emma. I am predominantly gaming on handheld, PC and tabletop. I'm currently playing Katamari, me and my Katamari on PSP. I'm trying to make a 1,000-year-old Katamari, and I keep rolling up old men, but it's never old enough. So
first world problem stuff.
Yeah.
I'm Andy. I'm a console gamer, and if I had to choose one, my favourite game would probably be Final Fantasy IX.
I'm Christian, and I'm a PC gamer. My favourite game of all time is Deus Ex, and I'm also a games developer.
I'm Alex. I'm predominantly a PC gamer at this stage, but I'd say I dabble in everything, and favourite game has to be Uncharted 2. Well, lately I've been playing... Well, actually, the other night I finished The Walking Dead, which was intense. It was like...
Did you play all three in one go?
No, I played through the last 2 episodes in one go, because I've been putting it off for months, because I was like... I'm really sad in that I want to experience it properly. I don't want to do it while I'm doing other stuff. You know
I saw your reaction status after you finished it, and I'm
yeah,
scared
I
to
felt
play it
like
now.
you were crying.
I don't want those emotions.
I was honestly like I'm really bad with that stuff because like when I played through Heavy Rain, I ended up in tears so many times. And the end of Walking Dead, obviously I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone, but that's the most I've ever lost it at a game. I was shaking and crying and like falling apart. So I mean, if people ever say I'm not manly,
they're probably right.
I've just proven them correct. So,
in fairness, Nino Cooney almost brought me to tears at several points.
Yeah.
That's... Yeah.
That and Quap, yeah.
Quap is an emotional experience when you really empathise with the character. Like, if you have no
so
bones,
sorry for that guy. It's that and Awesome Nauts, which we've all played together now. Which is...
I haven't played with you guys.
All of us.
Playing on my own.
I just set up all night. Like, whatever.
It's definitely the least annoying Dota game I've ever played.
See, I've never played actual Dota,
Yeah,
so
me
I
neither.
can't.
I can't
I
compare
can't comment on this.
Closest I've played is the League, and the people that play that are
You said
scary.
it was like LOL. Didn't you?
They all feel the same to me. You all have to click far too many times. For a person
I've
who
only
doesn't
had
like
experience with Dota, so
Well,
I can't really speak.
You're playing Dota 2 at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I've only played that. I can't like speak on behalf of the LoL community or even the HON community. Like, I just don't know anything about those games. I assume they're very similar, but I know there's like a lot of differences as well. But yeah, Dota 2 is the game I've been playing a lot as well. I wouldn't say it's like one of my favourite, although it's probably one of my most played at the moment on Steam.
I mean, I think everyone's
But I don't know. I'm just not like good at it.
I've got like 6 spare passes to Dota 2 at the
I have
moment.
about 13.
over like
Yeah.
20.
I have none.
Would you like 400?
I can't run it because I'm on a Mac and it doesn't support OS X.
Yeah, exactly. There's no OS X or Linux client yet, which
There will
is
be.
so annoying. There will be, but I'm not sure if they'll wait till it's out of beta into like public release.
Quite
which
possibly.
It's Valve, so that will be a couple of years away. I really want to play Dota 2. Everyone tells me it's great, and I'm sure it
It's one of
is.
those things that I need to get into, but I
Yeah,
can't be
I'm
bothered
sure
just
once
yet.
I can
need some
play it.
time.
Yeah.
What it is, it's actually a massive trick. We want you to play it, we hype it up, so you hate yourself when you lose. That's what's going to be. When you start playing, you're going to hate yourself.
Fair enough.
What other games have you been playing?
Well, I'm actually not an emotional gamer, but I'm close enough that I don't want to leave the world of Zelda Skyward Sword right now.
God, you are a couple years behind, aren't you?
I have. I've had
I
it
still
for
haven't
so
played
long.
old school.
I've had Skyward Sword now for so long, but I keep taking breaks. Like, I did Dungeon Kept enough for today. I'm going to play Ocarina of Time. Or I'm going to kill things on TF2 over Pyro because I'm lazy. I just can't bring myself to finish it.
It's
I
a
don't wanna leave it
surprisingly
yet.
long game for what it is.
I just don't want that gap in my life just yet.
I can lend you Wind Waker when you because you are that far behind now.
Or you
How long
can.
is that
Don't
sort
talk
of
to me.
compared
The
to-
fucking HD re-release is coming out. Like, that's how far you are.
But yeah, when I'm not doing, I guess my other most played game, I guess it's Awesomnauts, because I'm not as bad as Alex, but I'm
No,
bad enough
no.
to cry. But healing, come at me, I'll heal you in Awesomauts any day of the week.
You have to just not be at your computer to compete with how good I am at Awesome.
But yeah, not too bad.
Oh yeah, I've been playing Minecraft on my Feed the Beast server.
Oh,
I've made a
Jesus
witch cave where giant zombies keep spawning because I'm not doing it properly. But it's pretty
Fair
cool.
enough. Going well
It's
then, yeah.
pretty cool.
First world problems.
I've actually
No one
played-
gets me.
I've actually been playing a bit of
My
Minecraft as well. I think I spent the whole day yesterday playing Minecraft with a friend. Normally, Minecraft bores me as soon as I enter the game because
You
it's
got
just
a friend. It's
nothing to
good.
do.
Yeah, you
When
have
you've
to
got a
play with
friend,
people.
it's slightly less boring, but it's still
Best
really
friends.
boring. But what I did is, well, we both did. We reset all the achievements and stats. So we're going to try and get all the achievements, just because that's the only goal I can think of in that game. You have to have the imagination of a 3-year-old to just
Hey!
you know
To enjoy Minecraft.
objectives
You have to be
do.
like an idiot.
You have to have a project
Yeah.
if you want to enjoy Minecraft. You have to have a goal. That,
No,
like
yeah.
you want to build this.
Yeah,
or you want to set up this.
The
these
best
rules.
times I've had in Minecraft is when you're in survival and you're like trying to establish a life in the Minecraft world.
Yeah, no, it has to be survival.
Yeah.
I'm not playing on creative. It's
Yeah,
boring.
creative is just
You
so
get everything.
pointless.
You-
Yeah.
The
Me
joy
and my
you find
friends
when you
had
find
a,
diamonds.
survival server, and it was very fun for the first week while we didn't have anything. And then as soon as we started making a perfect shelter that was completely impregnable to zombies and
Yeah,
skeletons,
it's just
That's why
it
you
got
get
really
lost
easy.
in
What
server.
next? What do you do?
Like
after
Feed the
yeah.
Beast, you've got so many different mods that you can build so many different things, like machines and stuff. Most of the stuff I just ignore, but I'm just using the Towncraft mod, and that's pretty awesome.
we were using the Ticket pack, so
That's cool.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
Tekkit is kind of it's everyone's
I had a
go-to
Tekkit,
mod, isn't it?
I had a Tekkit
Yeah.
server, and that was pretty cool. But everyone got bored of it after like a month and a half when everyone built everything.
Yeah.
So
No, fair enough.
So I've just been playing a lot of The Binding of Isaac and then crying in the
Yes,
shower
The Binding of
afterwards. Because that game is
It
horrifying.
is, yeah.
I don't think I've ever been more uncomfortable playing a game. And I just can't beat it either. It's too difficult.
more
It's-
horrifying than Silent Hill 2.
Much more, because it's scarring. It's not
more-
scary.
It's
just,
amazing. I love The Binding of
Yeah,
Isaac.
I love
Best
Binding of Isaac.
game.
it's so mentally damaging.
I don't understand. Like everyone who watches me play, it's like, Sachin, this is just disgusting. How are you playing? It's like, what do you mean? It's amazing. It's awesome.
It
Look
is.
at the colours.
It's a fantastic game, but it's just so. What the hell is going on?
I really like the art style. That's,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
I
really,
love it
really
'cause,
I
like.
like the upgrades you get that like change.
I don't know
everything
if
about it.
I don't know if any of you guys have seen Indie Game the movie.
Not yet.
It's got
Not
about
yet. I haven't. Though.
it's got Team Meter on it talking about.
That's why I want to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of Super Meat Boy's art style is shared by Binding of Isaac, and it's like
Yeah.
when you actually know about the guys behind Team Meat, Binding makes so much more sense because they're both really fucked up guys, basically, and there's a lot of like angst in there. So yeah, it makes a lot more sense.
Okay, I was gonna say, I've heard interviews with Edmund McMillan, and he sounds like he's twitching the whole time,
Yeah.
or he's on drugs or something. But he's a cool guy, but he just sounds like he's on drugs.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys have played the Basement Collection as well.
Yeah,
Which
I have-
they're weird.
is obviously a
It's all
bunch
Flash
of
games,
Edmund's
isn't it?
earlier stuff, yeah, and it's like the space game where it's like space is my friend, and you travel through the universe trying to find friends, and you're just isolated in the universe, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty depressing.
It's just an odd, like, slightly disturbing feling behind all of his games. So
Yeah.
there's weird atmosphere there.
It's like the
it's
Tim Burton
fantastic.
gaming.
It's great, but it's so weird.
Yeah. I definitely like his universe, but I can see why it wouldn't be everyone's. Yeah.
So yeah, this week I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls, as every week, because Dark Souls is consuming my life. And I took about a few hours to escape from it for a while and play Batman Arkham City and finish off the Harley's Revenge DLC, which was pretty good.
I still haven't done the DLC, like, because is it set after the main story?
Yeah.
So it's kind of I don't really want to spoil what happens at the end, but is it kind of like it's very clearly influenced by what happens? It's
You
not
feel
like its
very,
own
very
thing.
sorry for Harley.
I have Batman Arkham City, but I haven't actually played it yet.
Oh right, okay, thank
I'm
fucking.
I'm looking forward to playing it. It's like got really good reviews and stuff. And
It's
everyone's
so
saying
good.
it's
I love Arkham City.
Yeah, I saw Dark Souls as well on sale on greenlandgaming.com, and I was going to buy it for a tenner, but I just thought to myself, I'm probably never going to play it. I know it looks so good, but I know that I'm just so intimidated by it that I wouldn't play it. I'd rather watch it.
There's quite a steep learning curve, but once you get the hang of the mechanics, it's not too bad.
Yeah, like I watch people play and they're like, oh, you need this item and the ring of sacrifice, you need to fight this boss and you need these items with this armor. And you're like, what? How do you know all this stuff? And like the storyline changes on things, like it hinges on things that sometimes you don't even know are important. Like if you kill a certain NPC, things just change and you just don't know what's going on.
That's just replay value.
Yeah, because isn't kind of the appeal, or at least what I've heard about it, is that it's really challenging in that old school way. So that any progress
The
you
one
do
thing
make,
that I'm reminded
of
playing Dark Souls is it feels like you're playing a game for the NES.
Yeah, like an old school RPG.
you play
you're thrown into this world with little direction.
It reminds me of Mega
I
Man.
appreciate the sort of the difficulty of the game, but I know that I don't think I could go all the way through it. I don't think there's enough. I don't know. There's no real tutorial for it. It's just like you're kind of thrown in the game.
There's a brief tutorial. At the
Yeah, it's like how it tells you how to block an attack, and then you're screwed from there on in.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've been told not to play Dark Souls because apparently it made me too angry.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
That is true.
You will die a lot.
well, because isn't as well. Dark Souls is what, the spiritual successor to Demon Souls. then?
Yes.
Because I remember Demon Souls came out and it was pretty hype, but it was nothing compared to like how into Dark Souls people have got.
Yeah.
Was there multiplayer in Demon Souls?
Yes.
Yes.
The servers have since shut down.
So there were still like invasions and stuff, and it was quite similar.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
That's what I don't get then, what the difference is between the two.
The
I
difference
guess.
was because of a IP dispute between their publisher, so they couldn't use the name Demon Souls anymore, so they created a new franchise,
right, okay.
Dark Souls, which is just very, very similar.
Because it's like, I'm completely blanking on the name of it, but there's that new one for Vita that's very clearly meant to be like a portable Dark Souls.
Is it Soul
that's
Sacrifice?
Yeah,
more,
Soul
that's
Sacrifice.
more like
Soul
Monster
Sacrifice.
Hunter.
Yeah.
It's more aping Monster Hunter, by the way it's designed.
That's what I've heard. It's a mix of it's like those two.
Soul Sacrifice, that's it.
Any game worth playing for my Vita, I'm going to appreciate. So, yeah.
That's why I haven't bought one.
Yeah.
So this week I've been playing Max Payne 3, Civilization 5, and I recently completed Hotline Miami, which is a really, really good
That
indie
brings
game.
out the worst in me, that game.
There we
That
go.
game just...
It's so fun.
Right.
What it is, it's just got like addictive mechanics that make you want to
so
keep
much
playing.
swearing and death and blood and...
And the art style.
That's just loading the game.
Yeah, that's just
I
you.
finished it.
I love it. It's
all.
just like the movie Drive,
Amazing.
but if it was a
I
game.
drink.
No,
I've heard-
I
yeah,
don't
like-
need any more drink.
I've heard. I really want to play it, but it's one of those games that I want to kind of put a couple hours aside to
Oh,
play.
Yeah,
No, if you play it,
it will literally take you 3 hours to complete, and you'll be
Yeah.
alright.
You can
I
beat
picked
it
it up
in a
on
day.
the
Depends on how
humble
good you are
Yeah,
at it,
same,
though.
same.
It'll frustrate
Well,
you.
that's what I'm worried about as well. Is that people have said to me, "Oh yeah, it's only like a couple hours long," and then
But
I'm like,
the-
"Well, I'll be done with it."
The
then."
guys you have to kill are pretty quick. Like my friend, I think spent about 20 minutes trying to start one level,
Yeah.
and the guy, he just kept getting shot in the face every time.
But it just makes it so fun, like trying to beat the level, and when you finally do, it's just like you feel so good.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to
You're
say
like-
it's just so much swearing.
Oh yeah, sorry, we're not allowed to swear on this.
Well, no, it's just
yeah.
it's just the profanity that I don't really...
When I was at Res
It's not
2012, I saw Hotline Miami during one of its very first public showings, and there was a queue of people waiting to use the computers and check out this game. And as I was queuing to see it, I just saw several frustrated but extremely happy people going past me, kind of equal parts horribly frustrated at what they've just gone through, and equally delighted at what they've just played.
See, my friend got it for me for Christmas. I don't know what that says about me, but
I just got it with the Humble Bundle.
Yeah,
along with
just sitting in my
Awesome
Steam
North.
library at the moment.
Yeah.
No, you guys should really play it. It's a really good game.
Yeah.
Totally play.
And Civilization 5 is a game that I never thought I'd actually pick up and play
Right.
because I thought the learning curve was really, really high. And I think it is. And I think I've just sort of made it my own because I'm not focusing... Because I know there's 5 ways to win a game of Civilization. But what I'm doing is I'm not really focusing on winning. I'm just focusing on just having fun and, like, just trashing the AI. I'm playing on beginner, so I'm not pro yet, but it's really fun. I do really like Civilization 5. I know it's quite a bit different from 4, like the combat system and stuff. But no, I really do like Civ 5, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it.
No, yeah, I mean, you can't be as bad as Andy's been with it.
Oh, I'm the worst.
So it's fine, right? Because
I didn't think... I'm in the same boat as you, Sachin. I didn't think I'd like it. I got it on the free weekend.
Yeah, so...
Was like, oh, I'll give this a try. And then, like,
didn't stop.
13 hours later, I still didn't know what I was doing, but I was still playing.
It's a time vampire.
Yeah, it really is.
It was scary.
I
In
won
a
my
nice
first
way,
game
it was
yesterday,
scary,
though. I still don't know what I did.
Oh, okay,
But I
well,
won.
That's good. Because
Well, it asked me to stop, so I think I won.
it was like, please stop playing. Please.
I'm close to winning my first game, but I have to take all my units across the water to this guy who's just hiding on an island, and that's going to take me forever. So I don't think I'm going to bother finishing that game. I'll just start a new one.
I got Civ 5 on release, and I have completed about 3 games.
Yeah, I really just can't get into it. Like, I've got it in my Steam library. I think I've played like an hour of it, and I've tried to get into it, but it's just so slow and like nothing's happening.
You can play games where it like ups the pace a little bit.
Yeah, you can.
I play epic games every time.
Yeah, I think I need to either play it with someone else or just like watch someone else play it so I can get a feel for it. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause I just start up and I'm like, so I've sent some guys to walk through the woods. Okay, like Civ. Like, yeah, there's nothing else. I don't know what's happening.
What a selling point that was.
Yeah,
Guys going through woods. Civilization.
to be fair, I bought Civ 3 for like 70p the other day, so...
Oh yeah, so the last game as well was Max Payne 3, which I picked up on a deal recently on Steam. And I can't play Max Payne 1 and 2 because apparently it just doesn't work on like modern graphics cards or something.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Max Payne 3. And it's good, but it has a few problems. Some of the stuff's not so noticeable, but there was like a bit where like a guy was on a chair bleeding out, and your partner's just like shouting at him in whatever language they're speaking, I think Spanish. And I shot my gun off, like not even aiming at anyone, and the guy died on the chair. I was like, what? And my partner was like, "Hey man, I was working here." I was like, "All right, I'm sorry. Like, I just shot my gun off." But no,
Why'd you give me a gun if I'm not supposed to shoot it?
I like the slow motion stuff. I think that's really cool. Like the diving and stuff. You feel like you're playing like an action game, like a movie. It's really
My favourite part about that game is that there's no loading screens. It's just cutscenes.
Yeah,
it's
but the loading
seamless
screens
transition.
are the cutscenes, which is
that's fantastic because
Yeah,
it keeps
that
the
is
immersion
awesome.
going the whole
But
time.
if you want to replay it on a harder difficulty, you then have to watch every single cutscene. And also the gameplay is like what? Like you get 45 seconds of gameplay and then you get a cutscene and then it's
true.
just that, and then a more 30 seconds of gameplay than a cutscene. Like when you like think about it, that sounds really monotonous and just silly, like that you don't actually get to play for a long time before it cuts you up with a cutscene. But when you actually are playing it yourself, it's not that bad. The storyline is really good and it just flows really well, I think.
I really want to play Max Payne 3 because I love the first two, and I've had 3 on Steam since release because it was, if you pre-ordered it, you got LA Noire for free as well, and neither of which can I run on OS X, but I still bought it. Yeah, I've played through LA Noire on PS3, and but Max Payne 3 is supposedly coming to OS X like at some point in the coming future. Future. Just one day the executable will download and you'll be able to play it. So I'm looking forward to that. But until then, it's in my library. So
to me, the best part of Max Payne 3 coming out on PC was that it kind of proved that they fixed the engine that they make all their games in now. So GTA 5 will probably have a good port on PC.
Well, yeah, because so many people moaned about GTA 4's port, didn't they? And LA Noir's
Yeah,
port,
it was very unoptimized, and so was LA Noire, because it was pretty much the exact same build that they made GTA 4's on, except it was slightly modified to integrate all the mocap technology.
I kind of wonder what Rockstar are going to do with the next gen, because, I mean, not to deviate too much, but obviously the Rage engine is awesome, and GTA 5 looks really good considering everything, considering that it runs on the Xbox 360, and the world is bigger than San Andreas, Red Dead,
at the level they're showing it at.
No,
they're showing. Also, is it going to run on
there'll be PC, or we've been shown.
Yeah. Is it going to run on like the 360, and they're going to bring it to next gen? Is that how it's going to work?
They've said they're sticking to this gen.
Okay, because it wouldn't. Yeah, okay, because it would make sense to bring it to next gen and have people like deliberately wait to play it. That wouldn't make sense.
Well, they're not even going to put it on both. They're just going to put it on current gen.
Yes, we still haven't got a PC announced, or have we?
Yeah,
there will be one. But it's still.
If there will be an announcement, I think it will probably be in a couple of months from now.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to I don't want the GTA 5 to come out on consoles before they announce it for PC, because I know I'm just going to go buy it on Xbox, and I really want it on PC.
I wouldn't hold your breath for the PC release to be close to the console release.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably just end up getting it on 360.
Yeah. I know I'm going to buy it on PS3 the second I can, because GTA 4 was better on PS3, obviously. So I'm going to just hold out hope that it'll be the same with GTA 5. Like, it's one of those games that I can't make myself wait to buy it. Like, even if they've announced the PC port, I can't just be like, oh, well, I'll just wait a couple months, and like, I don't have a choice, I have to buy it.
I think what's going to happen is you're going to buy it on Windows and be like, oh, I can't play it, but I've got it.
But at least I've got it. Yeah, at least it's there. That's like almost every game.
How much of your Steam library is unplayable?
My Steam library, I think, is like 300 games, and about 180 of them work on Mac, and about 60 of them work on Linux.
And how many of them have you not played at all that you've got from Steam? Like,
that's not a fair question to ask.
Yeah, probably just shy of like 120 or something. And we've got the summer sale coming up.
Exactly.
I'm trying so hard to just not buy anything this summer, because I've already got so many games.
Think about the achievements.
Blinkers.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! Yeah, it's gonna be. It's almost as fun as the waiting for The Last of Us to come out game, which has been.
I pre-ordered it last night.
That game! Don't talk about it. I can't play it. Oh.
Buy a PS3 just for it. It's worth it.
I'm trying to buy your broken one.
I pre-ordered Last of Us last night. I couldn't wait any longer.
I honestly, I don't have words.
So good.
I don't have words to express how excited I am for it. I deliberately haven't read any of the reviews, and I don't know anything about the multiplayer.
I've read one because I don't want to see any more spoilers.
I know IGN gave it 10 out of 10, and I know
pretty much everyone's giving it 10.
Yeah.
It's 96 on Metacritic.
I think some guy gave it like 7.5, and he just got flamed on.
Yeah, well, because
that's not fair.
I know. Giving a score at the end is so subjective anyway.
Yeah.
Like, the game isn't perfect. There's going to be some flaws. Not every game is perfect.
I think Colin Moriarty put it quite well, because he's the guy who reviewed it for IGN, and he said that the 10 out of 10 doesn't mean it's a perfect game. It just means he can't imagine any single element of it being done better than they are in that game.
Like, every game's going to have flaws. There's no such thing.
Yeah, like, obviously you can pick apart any game, couldn't you? Like, you can pick apart Half-Life 2 if you want to. Yeah.
I mean, speaking of flaws, the one game that won't have any flaws is going to be Call of Duty Ghosts. So, that's going to be an 10 out of 10.
Look at those fish.
That's going to be an 11 out of 10. Insane must buy.
My favourite fucking thing about COD Ghosts, though, is, at the Xbox reveal, they hyped up and they were like, yeah, we've got this next gen fish AI, so they swim away.
It's in Mario 64.
But they released some gameplay the other day, and the fish glitched through the players. And it was like great. Like,
it's going to be delayed.
Promotional footage.
They're going to delay it to enhance the fish AI.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Last of Us is going to have to come out with a dog DLC.
Yeah, it has to.
Otherwise, we won't be able to have a real emotional
don't buy
connection.
games about dogs anymore. What's the point?
Everybody needs dogs.
Exactly.
Doesn't that?
That or a horse. That's why Fable 3 is free at the moment. Fucking everyone wants it.
You never know, considering E3 technically starts tonight, we might see some more dogs and more fish.
Microsoft come on and say, our next funding exclusives are all about dogs.
They come on for their conference with like loads of leads and all these dogs just walk on.
Now the Kinect can track your dog's heart rate. Whoa! I guess that's a fair enough transition into E3.
I think that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're about 45 minutes away from the Microsoft press conference at E3, and we're just thinking how much more they can screw up.
I'm honestly cautiously optimistic about it, because I know the earlier reveal was supposed to be hardware and software, wasn't it? So it was kind of, this is what our console does, this is what the literal
It was more of a
box
console
does.
reveal.
Yeah, like,
the tech.
that's what you have to remember, is that when Sony came out, they showed us the DualShock, but not the console.
Yeah,
so
we still haven't seen the system
we
yet.
don't know anything about the interface, really, or any of that stuff. So Microsoft have kind of got the boring shit out of the way, because
They're making way for a lot of games on their conference. They're going to be able to dedicate this whole conference.
Well, and the thing is as well is that Microsoft last gen kind of relied on third parties to to bring over games to them. But
what I want to see at E3, I don't want to see any more pre-rendered things. That's really annoying.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be. I mean, I know games aren't finished, but there must be like some sort of game footage that they can show to show us off, like the new tech that they have.
Yeah,
They can't. If they keep showing us pre-rendered stuff,
That's
no
the
one's
thing.
gonna be excited.
Sony came out and were like, oh, here's Killzone Shadowfall. Like, this is running on PS4 hardware, basically. And then Microsoft were like, well, here's a generic Call of Duty video, and here's some American football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was all CGI.
Yeah, it wasn't...
the new Watch Dogs trailer that leaked last night was all full CGI.
I could not find that anywhere on YouTube. I could only find that on the link that you tweeted.
I haven't watched it because I've tried to put it off, because
It's
I want
really
to see
good.
like Ubisoft C3 press conference.
It's a good trailer. It
It is a really good trailer.
But if it's all CGI, so none of it's in-game
None of it's
engine.
But we've already
We have
seen
seen the
gameplay
engine,
from the
yeah,
game,
yeah.
so I mean, I don't
Because
think
all
that
of the in-game stuff looks phenomenal.
amazing.
But I mean, Watch Dogs is coming out on Wii U.
It's coming out on all platforms.
Yeah. So I don't understand.
Well, hey, you
Of
said
course,
all that.
you everything.
Yeah, but I don't understand. Like, I can see it being cool on Wii U with the tablet potentially,
Yeah, they
but
can
I
do
can't
that.
see the game running on Wii U.
Oh, they'll scale it down.
Yeah,
The Wii U as a powerful console has just not really been shown off by first-party titles, really.
I guess. I mean, because what I've heard, at least, or at least what EA seems to be saying, is that the Wii U's not as powerful as, say, a 360.
Avalanche Studios were complaining a bit about their Wii U.
They were saying their dev kits were just collecting dust.
Yeah.
weren't they?
I thought that the Wii U was supposed to be more powerful than PS3 and Xbox 360,
It
but
is.
but not as not a lot more powerful.
It's not as powerful as the PS4 and the Xbone are going to be.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't make any sense if it was more powerful.
I'm so annoyed about that as well, that we already know that the Xbone is less powerful than the PS4. Like, it was like, I was expecting for once to have both the consoles be on par with each other.
Level ground.
And we're so close. They're using like almost exactly the same everything, except the Xbone is weaker, and loads of its memory goes to running Windows.
Yeah.
So
Three instances of Windows.
Yeah.
The only thing
Which is-
worse than one instance of Windows.
yeah, and presumably it'll be taking up processing stuff doing Connect
Yeah.
at all times.
That was a big disappointment when they announced how the memory was going to be split.
Yeah, it's just what, and it's divided by what? It's 3 OSs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's what, the gaming interface.
Not much of it's
Windows.
dedicated to gaming at all.
It's pretty much just for
Media.
alt-tabbing.
Alright,
But
okay,
they're not.
great.
I think
Yeah, the
Microsoft are
weird
going
split
for.
screen thing. Yeah.
I think Microsoft are going for a different market this time. Man.
They're-
They're going more for being centre of the living room and being an entertainment.
Yeah, I feel
system.
like that was the main thing that the gaming media missed after that announcement, was that
Yeah.
this wasn't a surprise. It
No.
was.
This is their development strategy. They want to be
Yeah.
They
entertainment.
want to open
the
the
whole.
market.
Yeah.
Just
I
game
feel like
games.
the whole Xbox project has been kind of an unabashed Trojan horse, in that Microsoft had pretty much always made it clear they want to own the living room. They never came out and said, yeah, they never came out and said, oh, we want to own the games industry. They said, we want your front room.
Yeah.
And it's like, the original Xbox had a hard drive and stuff like that was unheard of in consoles. Then the 360 was like, oh, you know, they gradually brought in all the 4OD, iPlayer, Netflix. Like, hey, you can order pizza for your 360 now. It's like, you know, it does all this shit that is not gaming. And I think the big deal with the Xbox One is that we've now seen the shift from it's a games console that does other stuff to it's a box that does gaming. Like, that's one of its things.
What I don't understand is that, like, the only people that watched the conference and the reveal was gamers who don't care about a lot of this stuff, which is why I'm confused still. I mean, I don't know if they're just trying to go for a new audience altogether, because it does really seem like that.
Yeah, Microsoft have a lot to
make up for.
Yeah, I think a lot of their conference is going to be spent backpedaling, like they've already been to the press.
Yeah,
when they mentioned about
trying to clear up all the
news game stuff. Because
did you guys see like the Microsoft clear up? Like they tried to, they released some new information.
It was so much.
It made it worse, if anything.
Well, they've now confirmed that you have to be connected once every 24 hours to play anything, which is a huge misstep.
And one thing. I mean, this is way looking forward, but so when they switch off Xbox Live for the Xbone in like 15 years' time, you can just never use the console again.
Yeah, well,
like,
I'm thinking...
Like, if I plug in my NES, it works. You know, if you plug in a 360 in a couple of years, you won't be able to go online.
So that's why I'm sure they'll have updates, because they're doing that for the Wii now. They're showing off kind of some of the services for the Wii, because obviously the Wii U's taken off. Yeah. But I got an email from Nintendo, because they're nice like that. And it actually lets you know that they're giving you a new download, a new update for your Wii. So you can keep playing all of your things that might require.
So it gives everything like an offline.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm guessing Xbox or Xbone will do something exactly the same. Yeah. Otherwise, it'll be useless. It will be something gathering dust, and you won't make any money.
I remember, wasn't it when they turned off the original Xbox servers, people playing Halo 2 online got like a 3-year pass or something, didn't they?
Well, it's worrying.
They got a 3 year of life.
Yeah, that's it's nothing to Microsoft, but I think that's a really cool gesture.
If we look like even further forward to say the next generation after this, what if the Xbox One servers, if they ever get shut down, that's a whole generation of games lost
just
because you can't play them, because you can't connect.
You know how you just said that was a nice gesture to give them a year's worth of live?
It's not really.
It's not really, because I mean, like, we shouldn't have to. That's one thing I'm really upset about. Like, I would buy the Xbox One despite all these restrictions if I knew that Xbox Live would be free. Like, why do I have to pay for the Xbox and then pay for the games and then pay to play like the functionality that the game brings, which is going online, and playing with your friends. Like, I have to then pay extra for that. Like, what's the deal with that? Why do I have to do that? That should, Sony doesn't charge people to play online, so why does Microsoft have to?
Yeah.
Well, the argument was that it was a more stable service and that it's faster. But now we've got PlayStation Plus,
that's just a paper-man argument.
PlayStation Plus, it seems really amazing. Like, I don't have a PlayStation 3, but everyone keeps telling me like how many like good deals there are, and like they get like a couple games for free.
PlayStation Plus is like easily the best deal in gaming. Like, it almost rivals Steam, how ridiculously good it is.
It's close.
They offer download titles for significantly reduced prices, and then they give you a free one every month.
And if you look at like Steam's, Xbox's games on demand list, all the games are really expensive. Like, things like Call of Duty 4 are still fairly expensive.
Yeah, I think
it's ridiculous. Like, what? It's just a big rip-off. I feel like every time I turn on my Xbox, if I'm not playing a game, I'm seeing loads of adverts and loads of
I remember the last time I played my 360 was probably around February, and it was just before my gold ran out. And I just sat there looking at the centre dash, and it's like that top left box is your game, and then everything else is, hey, look at this movie, or hey, buy this album,
exactly.
and it's like I'm paying for this experience, this Americanized everything's an advertisement interface.
The fact that we're paying for it and there's still adverts on it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, normally you pay.
You normally pay to have no adverts.
Saying that.
Well, look at Steam. Steam's adverts are, hey, we're having a sale on a game.
It's relevant.
Yeah, like, or there's a new game coming out, or there's a trailer for a game. Like, it's all gaming interface.
The most adverts I've ever seen on Steam that haven't been related to something else on Steam have been occasionally, when you're on a game, connecting to a server, a tiny little banner.
Yeah, and it's like a third-party server. And
and most of the time they aren't even sold to anyone, so they're just advertising Left 4 Dead or something.
I think that we shouldn't assume, like, during E3, we're all going to be like, oh, Microsoft's crap and Sony's doing good, but I don't think we should look at it like that. I don't see Sony as the good guys. I don't see like Steam and like Valve as the good guys either. I mean, Steam has some problems, but they're just outweighed by the sales that they have, and just the service is arguable, but like Sony aren't the good guys either. They've had some problems too. I don't think we should all just put our like eggs into one basket, if you know what I'm saying. Like, we shouldn't go into E3 thinking that Microsoft will do badly.
I think they've got some tricks up their sleeves. Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of exclusives and IPs. That they've announced but haven't revealed any information about yet. So I think they could surprise us.
Regardless of all this, people are still going to buy this.
Yeah, I have my friend
They're still going to do
People will
it.
still buy it. Yeah.
You know,
This is what Microsoft is relying on.
My housemate is a serious Xbox gamer, and even he's planning on selling his 360 in October to save up money for the Xbone.
Yeah.
And that's because he
Love
loves
them.
Gears of War, Halo. He loves those ones that are set purely on
and
the
there's all the
Xbone.
people who didn't watch E3, like all the people
the
who
people who just don't care about the games industry.
and
Like,
I'm just going to go out and go, oh, new
on,
Xbox, going to buy that.
On 10 o'clock live the other night, when Jimmy Carr did his week's news roundup, he mentioned the new Xbox, and he was just like, oh, improved graphics, new design, that will be the new thing that Virgin spend their money on. And it's like, haha, gaming, nerds, LOL. No mention of, like, the media interface, the future of gaming, where Microsoft are going.
Yeah.
To the mainstream, it's a box that plays Halo.
The chances are, I'll be the one who gets the PS4, and my dad will get an Xbone.
Yeah.
Purely for the fact that he could sit down on the couch in his underwear, order pizza, and tell it to put the football on.
Yeah.
It's convenient.
Exactly, that's what the Xbox One's going to be. It's going to be the thing
It
that
appeals.
parents say, okay, we'll help you pay for this one, because we're going to use it more than you this time.
No, because
So yeah.
I was in
That's a good point.
I was in CEX in town with my dad yesterday, and we were looking for a bunch of secondhand games, and I kind of off the cusp was like, well, this shop's fucked next gen. And then I had to explain to my dad what's happening with the DRM stuff, and he was like, what, like, that's legal? Like, they're allowed to tell you what to do with something you've bought. And I was like...
It's the way the industry goes.
Otherwise it won't work.
Somehow this is happening. Yeah, like,
When you accept a terms of service agreement without reading it, then they can put whatever they like.
You're agreeing to whatever. And I know the counter argument people make is like, oh, well, you don't own your Steam games, you own a license to them. And it's like...
Again, though, the
not-
bonuses of Steam just kind of outweigh that.
Yeah,
And Valve-
I think this is
It
the
was
reason
worth
it's
to
always
have
going to be
the
going
Steam
on.
And Valve have proven a commitment to kind of just providing a good customer experience
Yes,
as
Valve-
a way of getting more money.
I trust Valve more than I trust Microsoft.
Yeah.
Like, in basically every department. Like, it's...
Nintendo. I
Yeah,
love you.
Nintendo also care a lot about their...
Well, they care
image.
because Nintendo. I know people are going to go E3. Who won E3? Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. Nintendo's nowhere in this race.
Nintendo's never.
Nintendo's never been in the next generational race.
I don't think
because
anyone's-
Nintendo's in its own little bubble.
Yeah.
We're Japanese.
I
We're
wouldn't
fun.
say-
We got Mario.
They
we
don't
love
fit
Mario.
innovation over competition.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say that Nintendo have never been in the race. It's just that they totally
They led
fucked
the race
up.
for
They
Yes,
just-
they
they just don't
because they
care
brought out
about
the
the race.
GameCube completely fucked up.
They fired the guy who
And-
started the
race.
race.
And then they were like, okay, we give up with the race. Now
Well,
we're gonna sell the GameCube again, but with a waggly stick.
But what
And the
they
Wii was a
proved-
massive success.
It's
And outsell-
millions,
and
yeah.
outsell
What they
both.
proved with
Yeah.
that was that, even though, the Wii was underpowered, it was not as as powerful as the Xbox 360 and the PS3. They still proved that you can sell a console like that is underpowered if it has the right games.
Well, yeah,
And
like,
it's always
Tell
about
me
this.
it's
I hope
free
they
gift
do.
with new Pokemon.
It's
Yeah.
about the
You can
demographic.
tell me one.
yeah.
Because obviously the Wii is one of those things that not only do I play, but my younger brother can play because he can wave a stick around, and so can my grandma because she likes
It's
bowling.
family
Yeah,
friendly.
yeah. No,
Exactly.
I always remember, I think it was really summed up well for me, the Christmas where my brother got his Wii and I got my PS3. And it's like, so obviously the whole family's gathered round, my nan and granddad, my mum and dad, and we switch on the Wii, and 5 minutes later everyone's swinging the Wiimotes around playing
Knocking out
tennis.
lights.
And then I start up the PS3 and it's like, everyone sits down to watch Resistance, and it's like, there's a very different experience happening.
Yeah,
here, these are opposite ends
Because
of the
anyone
spectrum.
can play the Wii,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
It depends on what game you put on, I
You-
guess. But
I totally understand it. I think, for me, last thing on Nintendo at least, with the Wii U, I think the reason it's so screwed is because the audience or the demographic for it beyond the Nintendo hardcore just doesn't exist in the real world. It's the casual have a Wii, and the casual don't understand why they would ever need another console, or they forget that they own a Wii, and the hardcore buy a real console. So neither market wants a Wii U.
So I think the issue with the Wii U at the moment is obviously with its launch, it lost some of its launch titles. You know, we were all hoping for Pikmin 3.
We're still waiting
Last
for
Year 3.
Fantastic One.
Most of the announced launch
Exactly,
titles.
this is the issue. And that's all because Nintendo wanted them to be at their full power before they released them. So many of them got cancelled and pulled back. Like Retro, the people who did Donkey Country Returns, they had 2 games they wanted to throw out into the Wii U launch. But again, they were told to stop it, pull your socks up and concentrate on one first. I want this 100%.
Yeah, do it
and that's
right.
That's what's happening. So instead of having loads of launch titles, Nintendo's holding back their horses, and that's what I'm hoping for at this E3.
I mean,
I'm really
want
hoping to
Zelda
see.
Wii U.
Yeah, we all do.
Exactly. I want to see Donkey Kong Country again,
So
but using the tablet, you know.
Yeah, because I'm optimistic because I bought a 3DS at launch, and after the first year of owning a 3DS, I vowed to never buy Nintendo hardware again.
I didn't buy a 3DS.
I went through a
because
year
there
of
was no games.
having no games.
Because the only thing I wanted to play on it was the remake of Zelda.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
But then I was like, I
for
can't
a year,
justify
for a year
paying
I played
for that.
Ocarina of Time in 3D,
Yeah.
and then Mario Kart came, Super Mario 3D Land came, and they're both fucking amazing. But they are just
still not
new
justifying,
Mario games
you know,
again.
yeah,
and
to
it's like,
buy a
Let's
console
tell you what,
just for
'cause
that.
I guess you could say the same though, because obviously they've got The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past 2 coming out,
Yeah.
which looks really cool.
yeah, which looks amazing,
But again,
it's
I
just
get it. I
another
still haven't
Zelda.
done
It's
Link to
because
the
it's
Past.
their franchises. When you think of Nintendo, you know, they don't really have many in-your-face new franchises. Unlike PlayStation 4, where it's it's about the games and the franchises, and I'm really tempted to get one because I want to play Knack. That was announced at the last revelation. Like
Yeah.
that looks adorable,
Looks
funny,
interesting as well.
challenging,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's the idea that it's a completely different
And
take on
how
it.
interesting is it that that was the first game Sony decided to show on their new console?
Yeah, that was pretty-
It's a
that-
new IP that's
Yeah.
like cartoony,
It was a
puzzle
gamble.
type game.
It was a hell
yeah,
of a
like
gamble.
where-
And it paid off. I
I
think.
love the animation style of that game. It really reminds
yeah,
me
I
of
think that
Astro
looks
Boy.
awesome. Yeah, it's definitely Astro Boy. Yeah, I think
It's just
it
the
looks
character
great.
models.
Exactly.
But I think that was kind of Sony's way of saying, yeah, we're not just going to make you another Call of Duty machine. Because
Yeah, it's not just
whereas
bigger and
Microsoft came out and said, we know where sports and Halo and COD.
Yeah,
like, that's
we know what
that's
you guys
we
want.
are.
Like they've got a
Yeah.
target audience, and they're going to sell
Pro
systems.
gamers. Pro gamers
Yeah.
everywhere.
They're going to sell systems to people who won't,
Well,
like,
pro gamers
who
who
don't
aren't
know
on
about
PC.
the restrictions it has or don't care.
Yeah,
Oh, bro.
Pro gamers, not pro gamers.
Bro games.
So I was going to say,
We all know
pro
pro gamers play
are
Pokemon.
pro gamers
Go on.
PC.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Can that be
Okay.
the title for this podcast? Pro gamers, not pro gamers.
Okay, well, while we're on the subject of software, I guess we should move on to the exclusives, what we're hoping for from E3, what we know is coming. Christian, I know you wanted to talk about Titanfall.
Yeah, I've heard about this because I didn't know that it was the game from Respawn. I mean, I know they were working on something that looked a bit Halo-ish, and then there was like some images leaked out finally, and they announced, oh, we're working in the Source engine and we're making this massive FPS game that sounds on a surface level quite similar to Destiny.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It comes off as very Destiny-esque.
What? I'm sorry,
whatever
what is
the fuck Destiny-esque is,
Titanfall?
So far, it's announced to be a first-person shooter that is going to be next-gen, and the most we know about it is that it's made in the Source engine. And
Well, and,
Okay.
and just to clarify, Respawn are the actual Call of Duty 4 team.
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah.
They're the guys who all
Taylor
got kicked
and
out.
they're the ones who got fired from Activision, and they kind of went, "Screw you guys, we're going to make our own studio with blackjack and hookers."
Yeah.
And then
And forget the game studio.
and then they started working on a new game, and they've been teasing it for ages and ages and ages, and then finally we've found out what it is, and at E3 we're going to see a lot more of it. I think it's going to be an exclusive to one of the consoles and PC. They've already announced it's definitely coming to PC.
I'm really glad that we're at the stage where it's just a given that everything is on PC. Like, it's like we're confused by the fact that GTA 5 still hasn't got a confirmed PC version. You know,
That does say something, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it was a couple years back. It would be you'd hope for a PC shitty port. That
Well,
would be-
they're changing all the architecture now. I mean, like the PS4 architecture is very easy to develop and port to PC now.
That's because
They're
they're finishing
both,
the game's development.
Yeah, which
aren't they?
helps a lot, and
And
you know,
it's
there's going to be a
as
lot
well.
more.
They're both
cross-platform.
x86 now, aren't they? The two new consoles.
Yeah,
And it's like, they're basically both PCs now. It's just which retailer you buy them from.
AMD have come out saying that they think that because both the new consoles will be using AMD chipsets, it'll be a lot easier as well for doing graphics programming.
Yeah.
Because you won't have to worry as much about the driver issues from switching from NVIDIA to ATI or AMD.
Yeah, it's got the potential to be awesome for everyone, regardless of platform. Like, because I remember for years where I only had the PS3, and if a multiplayer came out, you knew the PS3 version was always going to be inferior. It was always going to be, you know, a shitty resolution stretched up, or it would be buggy or run so whatever. Hopefully, we won't really see those teething issues now.
I don't mean to go off topic about software, but do you think they're going to reveal the prices of the consoles?
We
Because
haven't even seen the PlayStation 4 console, let alone prices.
Definitely
That's
not
true.
clear about prices yet.
I would doubt it at this point.
I think prices are going to be... both of them are going to wait for the other to fire first. And then as soon as one does, they're going to announce it like the day after. A bit like how the Xbox One reveal, we saw the PS4 trailer come out the same day with the glimpses of what the console looks like.
I would almost think that Sony would want to get the price announced, though. I think that they'd want to do it at the start of the conference, so it comes out, so, you know, IGN, whoever, they put it up on their Twitter feeds, but then it gets buried underneath. Oh, and there's a new motor store.
So it doesn't become the big focus.
I never thought of that as that being a marketing strategy, but that's amazing. You can just say the price at the start and then just have it buried in, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I just never thought of that.
Well,
There's a chance that it will get revealed at E3. I mean,
I
obviously
hope
we're unfortunate in the timing of this podcast, and by the time it goes up, the conferences will have begun.
Everyone will know, and we
So
won't.
you guys are listening know more, probably listening to this now than we do at the moment. Like, obviously next week we'll know everything for sure in the next show, and we can discuss everything. So at the moment it's just real predictions.
I guess maybe I'm just wrong, but I would be surprised if they don't announce the prices at E3. I think now is the time to get it out of the door. And I'd be very surprised if Nintendo don't announce a price cut for the Wii U.
It's had so many sales already. Like, if you wanted a Wii U and you didn't pick it up when it was $149 at Asda or Blockbuster or somewhere else, when it was like rock bottom, then the chance of being cut again, you're not really going to get it at $149 when it was brand new. Saying that you can get it used from CEX.
Yeah, no, it's a
because considering you can buy it used for 220 quid at CEX, it was $149 brand new. Yes, it was the white basic pack, but still.
Yeah, that's the thing.
For
me, the basic one shouldn't exist. Like, I don't. Either Nintendo should cut the price, or they should say the premium one is the Wii U now. Like, that is what it is.
Well, yeah, they have. I don't know how good this rumour is, but it has been said that for not much longer, the basic one will disappear from stores.
I'm really hoping that.
I can't see them continuing to manufacture them.
Yeah, but to be honest, I think they should do the same with the 3DS. Like, I don't understand why the normal 3DS still exists. Like, I have a normal 3DS, and it's a piece of shit when you hold it next to an XL. Like, why would anyone buy the original one?
So much bigger. Like,
well, the XL is what
that's
the
the
3DS
reason why I
should
bought
have been.
it.
The XL
because
is
it had
kind of
Pikachu's
big.
face on it, but you know.
See, I love how big the XL is. I think the 3DS is easily some of the worst hardware I've bought in a long time. Like, I think the 3DS is really bad hardware. Even when I first got it, I thought it was terrible. Like, I thought it looked nice, I thought it was sleek, but...
It's okay, but I'm still using my original DS, mainly because I've not really been taken by...
Is it an actual original DS?
Yeah, an original. I got it from Japan when it
The
came out,
silver
because I was in Asia at that time.
Because I had the original one as well, right? And obviously we were kids when it came out, so I loved it. But looking back, people always complained about that hardware. But
I loved it.
At the time,
I was about, like, 11 or whatever.
I was playing fucking Super Mario 64 anywhere. Like, I had nothing to complain about. You know what I mean? That was hype.
And I remember playing that Metroid Prime game.
Yeah,
on
I got the
DS.
demo with it as well. Yeah, Metroid Prime Hunters, and I got the fun pad that they just gave up with, didn't they?
The fun pad.
Yeah.
Like the Power Glove.
That's one of the things.
Yeah.
This generation's
so
Power
bad.
Glove. So bad, it's good.
If Retro Studios announced Metroid Prime 4 for Wii U coming this Christmas. Nintendo win E3.
I would buy one.
I got.
At that point, that would be a system seller.
Likewise, if Sony announced a release date for The Last of Us. I mean,
That's not
Last
right.
Guardian.
That's like the next couple of
Last Guardian, you haven't heard
Oh,
anything
the
about
Last
that.
Guardian's
So
the Last
so
Guardian's
good.
fucking dead. Let's get over it.
No,
right?
I
It's-
We don't know that.
I know
We
nothing
don't
of the
know
Last
that.
Guardian.
Right. So Sony Japan have been working on it for what, 6 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks epic.
Well,
So
Are you-
in the time that they've been working on the last thingy, right? There's been the Uncharted trilogy and The Last of Us
Yeah.
have all come out
But-
in the space of
Yes,
time that
but
they've done nothing.
If you keep this mindset of thinking, we're never going to get Half-Life 3.
on this,
No,
Think
it's
about how many
different.
years they're working
No, it's
on that
different.
one.
It's
Come on,
different.
guys.
Half-Life 3 is an eventuality. It will eventually come out.
on this
We
train.
know Half-Life
So
3
it's
is
The
going
Last
to
Guardian.
happen. No, The Last
No,
Guardian.
no.
is dead.
While we're on this, I mean, Final Fantasy Versus 13. I mean, that's been in development for 7 years. Everyone thought that was dead, but that's recently resurfaced.
Yeah.
There have been
I would.
little bits of news that said it's still going. It's
I'd
just
be
being
willing to
behind the
bet
scenes.
that we never see The Last Guardian. I don't give a fuck about any Japanese games anymore. There's no Japanese
Really?
games coming out that I care about.
Well, there is more than one type of Japanese game.
Well,
That's
the,
a broad thing
right.
to cast.
I
The
think
traditional Japanese.
That's the thing. I think
RPG
Phil Fish
I
and
think
Jonathan
it's
Blow were both
Tales of
talking
Xillia.
about one
See, I'm
type of
just not
Japanese
hyped
game.
at all. Like, I don't,
For
I'm
those
I
who
wish I could
can't see us,
broadcast
we
this
have a
face.
shocked face.
There's a
right?
facial.
So we've got to the stage where Western games are like critically reviewed and sold better than Japanese games, and we've got to the stage where Western RPGs
Well,
are better.
part of
than
that is
Eastern RPGs.
A lot of Japanese games just don't get the localization anymore, so they don't get the
Yeah,
press.
yeah.
And it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy. They don't get good reception, so they don't localize them, which means
I
there's
just
no
feel like-
But then you have
opportunity.
to ask the question: Do they need to like make it Western enough to like? Do they need more sales? Like, obviously, more sales is good, but are they successful within Japan? Because if they are,
Well, yeah, 'cause
then they
at
don't
the,
need all this like extra, like change to like make it, liked by people in the West. Like, it just doesn't.
Well, that's exactly it with like the 360 completely tanked in Japan, didn't it? But
Yeah.
it's a massive success in Europe and North America.
I just want to bring another game against your point now, because it's one that you've been saying that you do want to play, and that's Ni no Kuni.
Yeah.
See, yeah,
It's
Ni no-
an amazing JRPG.
But Ni no
Amazing.
Kuni is the exception to the rule. Ni no Kuni,
Oh.
Ni no Kuni,
Yeah,
Ni no
he's-
Kuni, I've been hyped about, right? And been like, I'm really hyped, and then been like, oh, I'm really hyped about a Japanese game. Like, that doesn't happen anymore.
Ah, right, I see.
Do you know
So
what I mean?
it's
as
a rare
opposed to,
occurrence.
as opposed to, man, I can't wait for Forza 5 and The Last of Us and Beyond Two Souls and all these Western games. Oh, I can't wait for whatever Criterion do
Yeah,
next.
and then-
like, I constantly care about that.
If you heard more about Japanese games, would you have the same reaction? Because there could be games
feel
of that
like-
quality in Japan that we just don't hear about.
Well, no, because that's exactly it. Because so my all-time favorite RPG is Final Fantasy VII, which is obviously like old school, like Japanese RPG now.
Yeah.
But it's like that's exactly it. Their new games are so old school as well. Whereas you look at Western games at that time and you look at them now. So you look at so Crash Bandicoot 3, The Last of Us. like there's been a transition. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
As opposed to Final Fantasy VII,
That's
Final Fantasy 13 Part 2.
That's a tough sort of parallel to make, though, like comparing Crash Bandicoot to something like The Last of Us. Because they're just entirely different.
But that's two
What about
examples
Crash
of the
Bandicoot
same
and that?
company. I mean,
The
look
people
at-
who worked on
Yes,
those
yeah.
games are entirely different people.
It's different teams.
The studios
Time
have
travel has
changed over the
changed.
years, and the industry has changed to reflect what people have been demanding, which has been these scripted experiences.
But
that are like
that's a
movies.
good thing, isn't it?
All
That,
the
that
Lego
games
games
have
are all the
changed
same.
and been dynamic and adapted and evolved. Like, I mean, I know everyone heralds for the golden era and says, "Oh, remember how good XYZ was?" Well, yeah, because you played it as a kid.
Yeah, you do
Right.
have those
I don't
feelings
think
of
heavily
nostalgia.
scripted experiences are good as a whole for the industry. They work occasionally when done correctly.
So The Walking Dead is easily the best game I played in 2012. Like, that was my game of the year. And that is, almost entirely scripted. Obviously, you can alter and change the story yourself, but it's, the parallel op is something to like Just Cause 2.
But that's supposed to be like that. It's deliberately
I think
like
it's
that.
to each their own.
It's a journey. You're
it's the same
following
as
the
like-
story. You're not creating, in a sense, your own experience. I mean, you are because you influence the story, but it's all very laid out for you.
I mean, I think it's... I'm not going to either object to or support, say, open-ended versus linear, because I think it's to each their own, in the same way that... I mean, that's surely a good thing that we're at the stage where not all games are the same, because it's, you know, music, I listen to XYZ, but other people will listen to totally different, but it's all still under the umbrella of music.
Well, yeah, I listen to ABC. They're really good.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So can I just give 2 quick announcements?
Yeah.
The Ouya console is, I think it's going to be available to buy from stores such
This
as
is
like
the
Game
Android-powered one.
on the pardon.
This is the
Yeah,
Android-powered.
this is the Kickstarter project, isn't it?
Kickstarter project.
Yeah, it's a Kickstarter project. Yeah, it's going to be the release date is the 25th of June. So I think they've gone through like their beta period and like they're fixing like everything. So I reckon, so I guess the 25th of June is going to be when it's released, and I guess you can buy it from there on out. It's going to be £100, but the controller's looking about £40. It's a bit expensive.
Ouch.
Like I know the PS3 controllers are quite expensive as well, but
I have not heard good things about the Ouya.
No, I was hyped about the Ouya, but now that it's actually out, I think it's... The fact that it can't just play any Android game, it has to be specifically adapted to work with the Ouya, and has to be free, I think is a bit of a downfall.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will get sales, and I'm sure it will be to the. I'm sure it will sell to those people who can't afford to buy like £40 games, full price games.
It has its market for sure.
So yeah, I think that's going to be good for it. And also the second announcement is Rift goes free to play on June 12th. So I'm looking forward to that.
I've never played Rift, so...
No, me
Me neither.
Well, now
Well, now you've got an
it's fun.
excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want Guild Wars 2 to be, like, free to buy, as well as free to play, and then I can get that.
The other
It's
thing
pretty cheap,
happening
though.
this week is, next week, is Company of Heroes 2 will be
Oh
out
yeah, I'm
soon.
so hyped for that.
But yeah, as always, nothing really comes out during E3.
Last
because
of Us on
it's
Friday,
very-
biggest release of
Yeah,
my
Last of Us.
personal experience this
That's
year.
right after E3.
We're also hyped.
Yeah, I guess it is, but
The
no,
Last
it's
of
this
Us.
week.
Purposefully placed specifically to go exactly after E3.
Yeah, it's clever development.
Also, Remember Me has come out, but I don't know a lot about that.
Yeah, Remember Me's kind of come out with a bit of a whimper.
It's an interesting
Concept,
premise.
yeah.
The world looks quite amazing, but I don't think there's enough. Apparently, there's not a lot of exploration for you to like get to know the world.
Yeah, it's
better.
very linear.
Yeah, and
The combat system isn't like too great because I know there's like you can create your own combos and stuff and use them in the game, but I don't know how fleshed out it is and how well it works with the game. So, but I mean, I'm sure the storyline is pretty good. Again, I haven't played it, so that's just me going.
So that's
on
one to look out
what
for.
I've seen.
Yeah.
all platforms.
We need it.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
a great outro.
No,
Follow us on Facebook and
Oh,
Twitter
oh, yeah.
at all platforms. We've got a YouTube channel as well, which will be
It's,
YouTube.com/allplatformsshow, all one word.
Yeah, and we've got the SoundCloud, which is
Well, yeah, but that'll just be used for embedding.
okay, fair enough.
we
Yeah,
like to-
basically, follow us on everything, and we're kind of getting the act together that the Twitter should become like a constant news feed, hopefully. It
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
become, and it'll be input from all of us, because,
We've all got access to all of the social
You'll
media.
be able
Yeah.
to find the podcast on SoundCloud. We're going to be doing some maybe like Let's Plays or reviews or just like small videos from any one of the All Platforms crew on the YouTube channel, so you can find some stuff there.
There's definitely going to be some Trying To coming up. From
Definitely. Now
me.
we all own it.
Yeah, from all of
Oh,
us
yeah.
on the YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's
That should
definitely
be
happening. That and Awesome Noughts.
And
Lots
next
of
week
awesome
we'll probably be discussing what went terribly wrong and what went right at E3.
It'll
Yeah.
be probably a longer show because it's post E3. We'll have a lot to cover.
Yeah,
Every
so
special episode.
If you have
Hopefully
any
we'll have our act
suggestions,
together.
though,
yeah,
have
yeah.
any suggestions, just give us a tweet.
Suggestions or feedback.
Yeah,
Yeah, honestly.
us at allplatformspodcast@gmail.com. Just let us know anything you were excited or surprised about at E3. And yeah, we'll read them out on the
And
show.
honestly, thank you so much for bearing with us for the first episode.
All the links will be in the description box, depending on where we put this. So
Like,
you'll be
comment,
able
and
to find-
subscribe.
Oh, dear.
might get a Pikachu tail put on just above the
Do it,
Do it.
please.
Get all platforms written down it.
I'm going to get all platforms written across my forehead.